Sexy and
The good doctor, Dr. Chris Brown, is in the house.
Yes, we've been speaking about The Living Room, which is on at 7:30 Friday night. Thought I'd give it a quick plug. But Chris is also, you may not know this, a veterinary surgeon.
Is he really?
He is a vet.
No.
And he's going to offer his services to you today, but you have to phone us as your pet to ask the question.
We've got Ebony of Wurrunga. Hello, Ebony.
Hello, Jonesy. How are you?
'Cause you're Ebony the dog, aren't you? Or
I am. I am Ebony, the black cocker spaniel.
Hey, Ebony, you speak very, very well. The Cocker
Thank
Spaniels
you,
are
Dr.
intelligent
Chris
dogs, so
Brown.
I'm not too surprised. What is your problem, Ebony?
Oh, I have major problems. My mum's had me on all sorts of kind of hipster-type diets, gluten-free, wheat-free, all sorts of strange things. I have allergies. For years now, I've been going to the vet with thrush in my ears and weeping eyes and itchy back and blocked anal glands without the caramel scent. I'm not one of those ones.
It's like my medical records.
But
And
you're amongst friends here. Let it all out. Come on.
And I just, it doesn't matter what my mum and dad do. I just, my eyes weep and I get thrush in my ears. It just constantly comes back. So this is where the diets have come in. And it's just not getting any better. I'm eating all this expensive hipster food and I'm still itchy and smelly.
Ebony, I feel your pain. It comes through in every single word you say. So I want you to know that I'm here for you, and I know your owner cares about you, but also what you need to realise is sometimes no matter the diets you go to, the things you try, if you are allergic to what's in the air, so what's actually surrounding you, things like pollens and mold spores, then that is what's going to set off your allergies and cause those ear problems. And often the sign we see with ear problems and allergies is that thrush, that fungal infection, and also the anal glands are a great sign of, well, not so great sign of allergies as well. So what I'd probably be recommending is you could even start on a course of hypo-sensitizing vaccines. So essentially you give yourself a dose of the allergens at very low doses, and that way your body starts to get over them, because otherwise you're going to have a lifetime of these problems. And no matter what you do with food or medication, they're always going to be there. So you need to start looking at that and maybe start talking about some hipster injections for
Hipster
that.
injections, cool. Okay.
Hyposensitizing vaccines.
maybe you've got to eat some ethical rice. Ebony's got to start eating ethical rice or something.
And wear Ebony's hair in a
And
mun.
hanging out of Bondi and smoking Rolly cigarettes.
Well, I hope that helps, Ebony. That was actually very good advice. We've got Charlie in Dural. Hello, Charlie. What kind of creature are you?
Good morning, Jonesy and Amanda. Good morning, Dr. Chris.
Good morning,
My name
Charlie.
is Charlie. I'm a cat, and I'm 3 years old.
Yes, you are. What's your problem, Charlie? It's very brave of you to call up. But go ahead.
I'm very embarrassed because I'm a doofus, but I use my kitty litter. I do a very big mess, as we do, but I don't know how to cover it up. So I'll go to the window and I'll start scratching the window to try to cover it up, or the nearby cupboard or the washing machine or anything else that might resemble a hard surface, but I don't go to my kitty litter to cover it up. And so the poo just sits there and it's there for all to see, but I can't cover it. And I'll spend up to 10 minutes trying to cover it up using the wall or the window.
Yeah.
So can I just ask you a question? I've never had a cat. With a kitty litter, the cat does its mess in amongst these chemicals, and it naturally then covers the poo or whatever in the chemicals. Is that what
It's kind
happens?
of an instinctive thing. A lot of them will scratch if they have dirt in the backyard. They'll often scratch a little hole and then flick over the top of it. But a lot of the time, Charlie, it seems strange for me to tell you what your instincts are, but this is, I guess, the crazy thing about this segment. What I'm going to tell you is that the reason you're scratching at the windows and the doors isn't so much to cover it up. What you're doing, you don't realise this, Charlie, clearly, but on the pads of your feet, you actually have little sweat glands. It's the only part of your body that has sweat glands. When it's hot, the only place you sweat are on the pads of your feet. But the thing about the pads of your feet is that you can actually mark your territory by scratching things, because each time you rub your foot against the door or the window, you leave a little smear of sweat. And so what you're doing is actually not trying to cover anything up. You're actually saying to the world, I'm here, and after you do your business, you've left a scent there, but then you keep on going by actually putting your scent around other places as well.
So there's nothing wrong with what Charlie's doing.
It's a really normal thing to do. That's why cats often scratch furniture. It's not to damage it. It's actually to smear their sort of sweaty feet across parts of your furniture to really mark their
So it's
territory.
nothing to do with covering up the business.
No, it's just sort of a normal thing, Charlie. You want to be heard, and we're hearing you roar each and every time you do it. Go you, Charlie.
Everyone wants to see your business,
yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah,
That's what it's-
my owners see it all right.
Be proud of your business. We have a flood of calls this morning, and who wouldn't want free veterinary advice? Because you go and see a vet, how much does that cost you?
Oh.
A fortune.
Yvette, she overcharges, doesn't she?
That's why the good doctor, Dr. Chris Brown, the Bondi vet and star of The Living Room, is here.
Star now.
Yeah, well, that's what he was saying before.
Just
One
watch
of them,
that.
He said he star. No, you said pretty much. When we were just having a coffee, then you said I'm the main game. I don't know. People are watching the show for me. Anyway,
Actually, it's true.
I don't want to cause trouble between you kids.
Now, Chris, we've asked people to call as their animals if they'd like help. This is...
They are the animals.
Sorry, the animals are calling.
There's no calling as the animals.
You don't need an opposable thumb to use an iPhone. That is true. We've got Tux from Mount Druitt. Hello, Tux.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you,
This
Tux?
is Tux.
Hey,
Hello, Tux.
Hey, nice of you to call. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm about 14 years old.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm a girl.
Yes, you are.
And last year they cut some cancer off my nose.
Oh.
And I've always been beautiful. I'm not a big cat,
Yeah.
so I'm small and beautiful. I'm black, and I have patches of white, and I have white down the front,
I can see your. What's. But
and that's why they call me Tuck. I have a brother and some sisters, and they're all
safari suit.
normal.
Right,
They're
yeah.
all, I've got a flat nose, and it's red, and I sneeze a lot.
Yeah, Tux. It must be a tough time for you. And,
It is.
Yeah, and when you have those cancers cut out, they can look a little bit dramatic to other people.
Yes.
And that can often, be a concern about how you've suddenly start to
Yes.
look. But Tux, I'm here to tell you, you're a cat.
Yes.
You don't live in a human world. In a human world, these things matter.
Okay.
Humans look in mirrors. Humans
Yes.
judge people around their appearances. The great thing about you being a cat is that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
talking about an animal that'll go around and sniff inappropriate things.
This one wears a
Okay.
tux. Do you mind, Chris?
So
One.
do you think that it's not my problem, it's everybody else's problem?
Absolutely, Tux. You got
Okay.
to stop. You got to tell people, hey, you know what? I'm a cat. I'm Tux. I'm happy.
That's it.
Okay.
Every morning, I want you to scream
I am
that out.
happy.
We
I
sound
am happy. I have a very good home life, and I can wander and whatever.
And no matter what they take off the front of that nose, it won't change you, but also it won't change your ability to smell and do all your catty things. So don't
Okay.
you let it worry you.
And you're also dressed for any occasion, which is great.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tux.
Thank you, Tux.
Humphrey's in Quakers Hill. Hello, Humphrey. What sort of animal are you, Humphrey?
Well, I'm a rabbit. I'm a rabbit. And I do have to say I'm a little nervous about speaking to Dr. Chris, Jonesy and Amanda. The last time I went to a vet, it was not good for my manhood.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. But that's an operation that can't happen twice. So you're
Yes,
safe now.
Thank you. Look, it also explains my slightly high-pitched voice. I do apologise. I bite my mother, my adoptive mother.
Yeah.
I don't do it to my father. He's very kind to me. He feeds me. He gives me scratches. I have a rabbit-proof yard that I run around in. But as soon as my mother comes out into that yard, I chase her feet and bite her on the ankles.
How old are you, Humphrey?
I'm about 4.
Are you? Do you do this all year round, or just in in certain times of the year?
Oh, no, all year round. All year round. Especially in winter, she wears furry boots, and I think that, sort of maybe encourages me a little bit. But as a general rule, if I'm not in a good mood and she's out there, I'll give her a chase and bite her. If she comes to my cage and puts her hand in, I can't resist the urge to run forward and give her a nip on the hand.
Yeah.
I have drawn blood.
Yeah, Humphrey, this is an interesting thing, and pardon me for speaking like you're not in the room, but the thing about rabbits is that they can sometimes have interesting personalities, and they can actually be quite dominance-minded. We see them as being very cute and very cuddly, but sometimes, Humphrey, and I know you're one of these, you can look to assert your authority. And clearly, in this family, I feel like you're respecting the man of the house a little bit more than you're respecting the woman of the house. And what you're doing is you're trying to assert some sort of dominance, because in the wild, you need to be able to have your little territory, to eat your grass and to parade around and get your sunshine and find your mate. But in this situation, you're enclosed, so you're trying to do it wherever you can by actually trying to tell that lady of the house that unfortunately there's already another boss around.
What can the lady of the house do?
Yeah, look, what I'd probably do is try to assert a bit of authority back. So maybe a little water spray bottle.
Well, she's flicked me in the nose with a fingernail. She was told to do that by one vet, and look, I'm faster than that. I move pretty quick, and I normally jump in for that bite and then take off before she's got a chance to do anything.
The other option is you could, if you have a cage. And it sounds rather dramatic. Actually, tell her to put you in. I do have a cage. I have a 2-story cage. Tell her to put you in a cage when you do that. So actually pick you up and then drop you in a cage for, say, 5-10 minutes, a bit of cooling time. And then
time out.
A bit of time out. Yep, because that's the only way the message is going to get through to you, I think. I mean, the fact you're acknowledging the problem says a lot, but I think what you need to do is have a bit more discipline in your life.
So, or get rid of the woman.
Well, that's another option.
Humphrey, have you thought about this?
Do you think maybe a twist on Fatal Attraction, where the rabbit puts a woman in a saucepan?
The rabbit boils a human. Humphrey, have you got a big pot?
I don't think that's the solution.
I think this is a great solution.
Chris will say that you suggested
That's Chris Brown. Boil up a human, Humphrey.
Why not?
Dr. Chris Brown, thank you.
That's all right. I hope they're all okay.
And just, we did not condone in any way boiling up humans, okay?
No, that was Chris. He said that.
Before the Boiling Up Humans group gets onto us and starts complaining. Dr. Chris Brown, The Living Room is on 7:30 on Friday night with my good friend Amanda Keller. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you.